Well, we're joined now by Marwan Bishara, our senior political analyst. Marwan, this is yet more evidence of an increasing divergence of line between the US and Israel. It had been there in the words of senior officials, very senior officials, anonymous State Department people. Now we have the two principals really at odds, it seems, publicly.
That's true, but one of them is stronger than the other. One of them is more credible than the other, even in the eyes of the Israelis. President Biden today is more popular than Prime Minister Netanyahu in Israel. President Biden is more popular today among American Jewish community than Netanyahu is today. You know, once upon a time, Netanyahu was more popular than an American president, like Biden or like Obama or someone. So for the time being, I think President Biden, if he's serious, he is in a very, very strong position to strong-arm Netanyahu. There's absolutely no doubt that today he is in that position, in this time, actually he was even 2 weeks ago, where he could force Netanyahu into a number of things. The problem with Biden for the time being is that he thinks the problem is in Netanyahu's partners, the more fanatic, like Ben Gvir and Smotrich and others. In fact, the problem in Israel today is Netanyahu, the godfather of this fanatic fascist government. Netanyahu does not have the trust of most Israelis. In fact, his ratings is so low, if there's another elections, he will probably be on the bottom of the list. So in one word, or two words, Biden needs to pull the plug on Benjamin Netanyahu.
What's the mechanism then?
By simply saying either you do this, that, and the other thing, otherwise I, President Biden of the United States, who supported you the last 60 days, who armed you, who financed you, who committed $14 billion for you, who shielded you at the United Nations, I will no longer support you. You will no longer earn my support if you continue in this path towards more indiscriminate bombing, less humanitarian aid, with no vision what's the end game. We in the United States, we believe, and in fact, most public opinion in the United States believe in two-state solution. We believe in a two-state solution. What do you believe in, Mr. Netanyahu? He today could pull the plug on Netanyahu, and if he does, he will probably earn even greater trust among the Israelis and greater trust among the American Jewish community.
It would be a huge ruction in all, US foreign policy up until this point, though. I mean, would there be a less radical step that could take place just in a few minutes' time if the US voted in favor of this UN General Assembly vote, if its amendment condemning Hamas gets through as well?
Oh, absolutely. This is certainly one step forward in tightening the noose, right, around Netanyahu by saying, we can no longer support your policy of indiscriminate bombing, of genocide, of bombing hospitals. And apparently today, they're talking about filling the tunnels with seawater, which will probably destroy Gaza for generations to come, right? So if this is what the Israeli government is heading, President Biden could start doing the divergence with that, starting with the UN vote. And apparently he's going to get the support of others. I've just read that Canada, Australia, and New Zealand seem to be edging towards voting for the ceasefire. Biden said the international community is giving up on this government, that it's losing support in the eyes of the public opinion. In fact, it was only the United States that shielded Israel the last time around, when 13 members voted for the ceasefire, one abstained, the UK, and the US vetoed So today, it's also the United States that is at an inflection point. Biden is losing in his Democratic Party. He's losing in the American public opinion. 70% don't approve of his management of the war in Gaza, right? He's losing credibility around the world. He's certainly losing credibility in the Middle East. So Biden's future is also at stake. That's why it's very important for him and for his country and for America's interest and credibility to start pulling some punches. Now, just briefly, just to say that we had a precedent like this before. In 1991, the Bush-father administration with Secretary of State Baker told Prime Minister Shamir, either you listen to us or we are hands off. You can call us when you decide to listen to us. Shamir fell, Rabin came, became Prime Minister in 1992. I think we are facing that kind of an inflection point in U.S.-Israeli policies if Biden is serious about his objective of peace based on two-state solution.
Well, we'll be watching for early indications at the vote shortly. Thank you, Marwan, for your insights. Now,